we're going to be getting ready very soon, I believe. We're just having we're seeing what's going on. We should be ready very shortly with the first crew battles, and it's going to be a Paris versus Paris. They're right here looking at each other right now. This kind of gives us a bit of a LAN view of like real competition right now. So I can see it's getting ready on screen. We're looking down right now, and ooh, look at that. That's a
Paris on Paris.
Yeah, Paris on Paris, definitely.
And that's the spectator driving off.
That's the spectator car. He's getting into his position. There we go. He's entering spectate mode. So that's just giving you a little function of how spectate mode's currently working. And ooh, it looks like Gaîté Lyrique have got their first two, so they're in first and second right now. And Meltdown's just taken into a second place there. Yeah, it's all so important at this. Look at this beginning corner. You can really mess you up.
One guy here just gets left completely in the corner. He was the first guy into the corner and took it wide enough so that the other guys could use him as a ram and just
bounce off him the whole way.
Exactly, yeah.
And you can see we're following the Gaîté Lyrique guy right now. I believe that's Cargo, I think. It's hard to see. It's got a distance from the screen here. And
Koga, maybe?
Yeah, potentially. And it's so important with these races at the beginning, as we said before. Hanging back a little bit is needed, because them first couple of corners, anything can happen. You're all so close and bunched up. You're bouncing off each other. And oh, look at this! See, shortcut time. I'm probably you probably know these shortcuts very well, Nicholas.
That one is that one cuts you off like 3 seconds off your lap time or something, and helps you out quite a lot just to come out of the bushes, so to speak.
Literally in your camo as well.
Yeah.
So we can see we got Meltdown in first, Gaîté Lyrique second, third and fourth. So their point system's going to look a lot better if they manage to hold this. But this map's not that short, really. We're only a minute and a half of the way through currently.
Yeah, and it's the Chicago tour, and you pretty much go from one side of Chicago and make a big U over the entire city of Chicago and end up almost where you started.
So Kaiser from Meltdown Paris at the moment, he is in first by not too far. I think he's got someone in his rear view there, not too far behind. But in this position where you've got all this open road in front of you, as long as you don't make any stupid mistakes, you're going to be doing not too bad at all. We're just flicking through the different players there. We've got onto some of the Gaîté Lyrique players, and Meltdown's actually managed to sneak into third position, so they've got first and third at the moment. Koga from Gaîté Lyrique is sat on second, and it's all pretty tight, and I'm liking the fact this is a lot closer. There is no you see that spin out into the barriers there.
You see it going on, like the straight distances or the straight roads are pretty easy to deal with, but then you end up in a corner, and you've been driving so fast for so long that you misinterpret the amount of braking you need to do, and you end up just getting smashed into a corner.
But they need to remember they're on the same team. Did you see that then? There were two of the members from Gaîté Lyrique. They were just fighting against each other. No, you're looking at your teammate. Don't use your teammate to win. You've got to play a team game here, because the point system works as a team. You just come on.
So that's just
sportsmanship. Where is it?
That's just it, really. I mean, you could play this game like a solo player. You could play with your crew and try and form some sort of crew mentality where you give room to each other, you communicate where you're going, and you try and make room to everybody on the road.
But definitely, certainly right now, Kaiser is not having any issues with holding his lead. No one's really challenging him, and I can't even see someone behind him at the moment. So I think as long as he doesn't make any big mistakes, he's looking very comfortable right now. And another thing to factor into this, guys, is the fact that ongoing traffic, you've got all of the street traffic around you, and they abide by the rules. They stop at the red lights, and that could just mess you up at the wrong time.
But then again, it's not just oncoming and ongoing traffic. It's the traffic from the sides as well. Like a school bus just just getting a green light and going in front of you when you're coming with 160 miles per hour.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
It's pretty hard to like use the clutch and handbrake and like try and somehow maneuver out of that position.
The worst one I had is when I went straight into a train. I thought I was going to beat the barriers, and that train just came and wiped me out from the side completely.
Yeah. So and it is just these obstacles coming out of nowhere, and on top of that, you have these constant obstacles in the opponents, and they can also make a lot of different decisions, and you have to react to that. And here we see the first guy's actually ready to finish up the race here. Kaiser for Meltdown.
Just about four minutes 23 seconds, I believe, there. And
Yeah.
you look at this at the scoreboard, so you've got Meltdown first, Gaîté Lyrique second, Meltdown third, Gaîté Lyrique taking fourth and fifth. Oh, no! Momo from Meltdown had just actually snuck into fifth from sixth. So it's literally Meltdown, Gaîté Lyrique, Meltdown,
Yeah.
Gaîté Lyrique, Meltdown. It's going to be so close and so tight after this first match.
That's
We've
a very
still got
tiny
three
knit.
more. Yeah, and we've still got 3 more matches to go. And the thing here as well is, with this being such a long map, they can easily get that kind of early advantage. And after you've had the first kind of bruising and battles at the beginning, then you get it kind of evening out and everything kind of spreads out. But that was impressive performance from both teams. But Kaiser there, he had no issues whatsoever.
I clearly bet on the right horse there.
Definitely. Inside information from Chris.
Congratulations to Kaiser for a very great drive.
Yeah, that was a great race. And
We have seen some different tactics there at the beginning. They brought in a sweeper, that's what we call that. Tried to disturb the rear end of some cars around him, and it worked pretty well. But in the end, it was Kaiser all the way.
And this map just ended up getting Meltdown just 4 points ahead, I believe. And we'll get the
Very
score
minute,
updated in a
very
little bit.
minute. And 4 points, it may seem like a lot, but it's not going to make a big difference when we see the rest of these matches go on. We got into a point where, I think it was yesterday, New York beat LA by a 20-point difference. So far, so good with this, though, because this is looking very close, and this is what I want to see from the semi-finals.
But then again, 4 maps and 4 points every map, that's going to end up being a huge difference.
Yeah,
as well,
it definitely
as well.
could be, but we'll have to weigh down and see how it all plays out. So, from the driving you saw there, Chris, who would you say is doing a little bit better on the kind of taking the turns and taking the corners?
Kaiser all the way, of course, but I'm a little biased because I know him. But he did very well, and there were not too many shots of his driving, but.
So we're going to go on to Grant Park Loop next, and it's going to be the second map. We'll be joining spectator mode very shortly for this race, and we can see it all coming up. We're going to get the scoreboards on the screen very shortly as well. And look at this, we watch our spectators dip out and get into position, and they'll go look and see what's going on with the rest of the races here. Let's see how quickly we can get on to seeing the corners. And
The
here
first
we go.
corner actually coming up right now. Kaiser being in third right now and trying to squish onto a better position, but he gets punished hard.
That was painful.
Yeah, so that was a strategic choice from Gaîté Lyrique right
Yeah.
there.
They take out the leader, eh?
Yeah,
That's,
he's going to have to slipstream all the way through this map now to get back in position. There is a lot of places on this map, like a lot of really sneaky turns where you need to exit very fast. Like, it's not about getting fast into the corner, but getting fast out of it, so you can maintain a high speed during the next big, open road.
So potentially we could see a lot of nitro boost being used there, I guess, as well, to
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
propel them forward. And as well as using the nitro on the straights, you've got to make sure if you're getting slipped out, you want to kind of send yourself all the way around these corners, pushing yourself a little bit further, especially if you have to hit that handbrake turn.
But what Nicolas just said is very important. Carry as much speed as you can to the next straight, and it will give you a big advantage at the end.
And here in
Definitely.
like we just saw in the corners here, there's a lot of cars just being parked or coming in oncoming traffic as you turn a corner, and it's so hard to react to that in time. Like,
And
there
look-
is ways of dealing with it, but it's so close to impossible that you see here a guy just Kaiser actually dodging it by a centimeter.
And we have a look at the scores right now. Gaîté Lyrique are just going to be 4 points ahead of Meltdown Paris. So they must have just had that with at the end there. We must have seen them change around a little bit, and Gaîté Lyrique just edging a player a little bit ahead. But still, it's only 4 points difference, and we're halfway through the first map now. Sorry, the second map now even. And look, they're still battling it out. And
They tried
looks
to
like
take him
Meltdown's
out,
doing
but
a
they
bit
failed.
better there.
They failed badly at the takeout there.
So we've got Momo up first, we've got Koga coming second. Second and third actually belong to Gaîté Lyrique, but they're fighting around each other at the moment. Kaiser's desperately trying to push back. He's currently in fourth. He was in last place. He's
getting
now in third.
now.
He's really pushing for it against these Gaîté Lyrique players. Whoa, and they come hitting the side really hard there. And guess what? They've just completely totaled. I believe that was Xerox. His car went flying just then.
That was an alternative line there over the pavement there.
Yeah, they're finding their own lines definitely in this.
They're creating their own lines.
And there's actually a lot longer to go in this map because I believe it's 2 or 3 laps. So nothing's set in stone quite yet. Momo has quite a comfortable lead in first there. But I believe that Kaiser will actually overtake his teammate here. He's managed to work his way up from the bottom of the field.
Yeah, Kaiser is doing incredible. He's just taking these lines so much better than the other players at the moment. It's coming from 6th and currently in 2nd. He can see his teammate in front of him, but the Gaîté Lyrique players, they aren't that close on him. You can just about see him in the distance, but if he keeps driving flawlessly like this, he's surely not going to have any issues. And this is what Meltdown need. Being 4 points behind, they really need a 1st and a 2nd place on this 2nd map right now.
And I think they drive on hardcore as well. It looks like it.
If he's as good as you think he is, Chris, then he probably is driving on hardcore, because I know that's a mode you favourite as well.
His teammate too.
And you can saw it then that as a teammate, he just let Kaiser get in front there. He
exactly,
didn't,
and
yeah,
that is
they weren't fighting each other.
So you know there's a faster team player, so you let him go, and then you block the guys coming from behind.
Yeah, you can see Momo just trying to force, I believe that's Koga right there. He was trying to force Koga off the map.
And the strategic choice of letting your fastest guy just letting him pass is that you can actually use his relatively stable slipstream, like you know where he's going to be. He's pretty exact every time, and that's why he's fast. So you can just lie exactly behind him and use his speed to your advantage and get more acceleration going from sitting in his pocket.
Oh, we've seen it swap though. Koga's managed to take over Kaiser there, and at Kaiser you can just see him. He's ferociously chasing right now. But Koga must have been hitting them lines pretty well. And the thing is, it's all about risk versus reward here. Are you going to take that corner, or is it going to be too risky? How can you make it play out for you? And we're currently seeing Meltdown's got 2nd and 3rd. It's still good, but they really need to take that 1st position.
It will destabilize the car when you cut the corner too hard. It will jump up, and it can destroy your... like
we just saw there, straight into a tree from Kaiser. Not what we would have expected from him, given how well he done the first one. But look at this, he's just got past another player there. He is currently in... it looks like it's...
Yeah,
he's in 1st at the moment, still somehow it says on the scoreboards. Momo in 2nd, Koga 3rd. And no, Momo's just taken over Kaiser, so it's a little battle between the Meltdown guys on their own there at the moment.
And Koga here actually being very far behind, it seems. Like Kaiser is all the way up on a lap on him, actually.
A whole lap on him? Wow.
Lap. He was just lapped, yes.
I'm sitting here trying to figure it out, but I'm like, why is Kaiser chasing someone? They should be way ahead of him.
Yeah, because I was looking at that he was 1st, and I'm sat there thinking, well, it says he's 1st on the scoreboards, but wow, he's doing that well at the moment, and we've still got quite a few checkpoints to go. Probably about another minute, if I'm remembering correctly, for this map.
Yeah, well, they actually just entered the 3rd and final lap, so
and
about 2.5 minutes left, and Kaiser here in an amazing position. He's got pretty far down to the 2nd place, and that's a teammate, so he's pretty comfortable right now and just needs to be keeping his head cool and driving as clean as he can.
Yeah, he needs to play flawlessly now, and as long as his teammate does a good job of keeping away the other players from chasing on him, he won't have another problem with winning another race here.
You just saw a very good example of proper use of the nitros. Wait until your car is straight, and then use all the nitro you have, and not just keep pressing the buttons like you see some players do. When you use the nitro that way, it's much more efficient, and you gain a lot more speed on the straight.
Yeah, I actually ended up doing a lot of I played manual shifting, and I used the nitro to just quickly get me into 4th, because I feel like that's the way my car handles better. And not only that, but accelerates faster. So if I get it into 4th very fast, then I can really maintain a great speed across the entire map. If 4th is my lowest gear and 120 miles per hour is my lowest speed.
Yeah, that is a pretty impressive speed to manage to keep out throughout most of these tracks, especially some of these windy and bendy street tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kaiser's just continuing to
he's got to
advance
finish in
on
his
lead.
sights
Yeah.
now.
This is another flawless ride from him. He came all the way back from 6th to win this. He got completely ruined on the 1st corner there. But look, there you go. 1st place is going to be his. Probably going to see Momo hit 2nd. I don't see too much damage going on towards him at the moment. And the Gaîté Lyrique players, let's have a look run down. It's Gaîté Lyrique in 3rd, 4th and 5th. You've got Xerox for Meltdown, sadly in 6th at the moment, but his other 2 teammates are in 1st and 2nd. So this point advantage is going to be very close once again, and these guys are just ferocious right now.
Yeah, it's not going to be much more than like 2 or 3 points in either way, or 2 or 4 points, I should say. But yeah, they really changed it up now, and the guys are really showing that he's the captain of his team.
To come back from 6th after being like completely totaled, he spun out massively on that first one.
Yeah,
and he just got bullied by the rest of the cars, and he did really well to come back from that. Chris, what did you think?
This was a very impressive race from Kaiser. He came back all the way from behind, and you could clearly see his skills all the way, using the nitros at the right time, and it was payback time.
What do you think separating Kaiser, for example, away from the rest of the players?
He was a little bit ferocious on times, but he can keep his cool when he needs to.
Yeah, it looked like it to me as well. Like he's a very calm player most of the time, but when he wants to be the first one out of a corner, he's trying everything he can, and sometimes he gets punished by a tree.
Yeah, them pesky trees.
Yeah, they are just.
Do you know what the thing that gets me most is? You know, sometimes we can go through fences. There's certain fences that you just can't go through.
Yeah.
Well, they got like the block paving underneath. I might just be looking and think, oh, I can go through that. Boom!
Yeah,
and
there's just the slightest difference in model, and you like, oh, I should have seen it.
Yeah.
That was the
Why
fence
didn't I
couldn't
get
go
that?
through.
I was like, then it comes back to what I was saying earlier about the risk and reward. Sometimes it just doesn't work out at all, and it's about knowing these maps.
Yeah, but you can imagine like trying to find all the crooks and crannies you can use to your advantage, and trying to find the fastest way across these maps. Driving into a lot of fences is one way to do it. Like, you really need to check every border of the map. Like, where am I limited? Where am I not?
Oh, look. See, this is a course I love. Have you had much experience with this, Nicholas?
I actually have, yeah. So this is a dirt map, and it's on a closed road. So I was just going to see the spectators leave it.
Let's get rid of the spectators.
The first corner really says a lot in this map, because
and
it's
look
so
at the
tiny and so
I have to bring to the scoreboards. Meltdown's pushed it to 40 right now, 31 for Gaîté Lyrique. So they actually got a 9-point advantage.
There he was taken out by his own teammate.
The first corner here, his own teammates are gliding out so far because they want to take the corner fast, and they end up just slamming everybody into the wall. While Gaîté Lyrique, they just take it nice and cool around the corner.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more teamwork coming from Gaîté Lyrique, but Meltdown have a phenomenal driver in Momo and
we haven't seen him on dirt yet, actually. So
yeah,
you could never really tell.
This could be a huge difference because it drives so differently.
Indeed, it does. I mean, the tail of the car just wants to go everywhere you don't want it to go.
Exactly.
And it's just about really like figuring out the acceleration and braking on the map. Where can I brake and not just slide away? Where can I accelerate and not just slide away?
So we can currently see Gaîté Lyrique, Koga, and
Kaiser actually in
They've
bottom
actually in first and second. You've got Momo in third for Meltdown, Xerox in fourth, Numster in fifth, and Kaiser, he's just edged his way into fifth. He was in sixth, but again, he's not. He's starting off a lot worse. He might want to try that tactic that we were talking about before in hanging back at the beginning.
He did get slammed pretty hard by his entire team in the first corner, and Momo here actually doing quite well in his Nissan 370.
And they need to think about this. Teamwork is the key. You shouldn't be knocking out your team.
Exactly.
Because this isn't a solo race. All these points is for your team. If you want to go to that next level, get this teamwork sorted.
And an ideal crew has specialists in every aspect of the game.
And Momo here with a great overtake, taking the shorter turn than Koga, from Gaîté Lyrique, and actually managing to get out ahead.
Just pressing close on his tail. Look at that right now.
That is a hardcore duel for the first place, and the rest of the teams the rest of the players of the teams are just trying to fight their way to as many points as possible across the board. And Gaîté Lyrique really wanting these.
What do you guys think about this jump right now? Some people say to go around it, others just say to nitro your whole way over the top of it. What do you guys prefer?
I try to nitro just before it to get as high and as far as I can, just because I like to jump very hard and very big.
It looks a little bit cooler, doesn't it?
So
it's fun.
The theory crafter that I am, I checked this with like timers and everything.
Oh yes, Nicholas. I knew I could count on you for this information.
He is the mad scientist, really.
And we tried it several different ways, like go really, really fast into the jump, go very slow into the jump and land fast so you can get more speed going, or just go around it. And like, do you use all your nitros at this jump? Do you use none of it?
That's icing.
And we actually ended up just saying, no, just go over it. Just take it nice and easy. Save your nitro. There's a turn coming where you could really use it because that tricks you. You always slide in this turn. Just use it for controlling your slide.
And it's so important and so critical to use your nitro at the right times, because if you go to hit your nitro and you've already exhausted all of it, you're in a tricky situation.
Which it feels like if you're pretty trigger happy on the nitro, it really you're constantly going, oh, I wish I had more nitro.
Oh, why did I use it then? I could have done with it now.
So you really need to plan out on every map. At least if you want to be as fast as you possibly can, you need to plan out everywhere you're going to use the nitro.
So
accidents or not.
Kaiser
nice
right now does
race.
not like dirt. He is in 5th still. He hasn't managed to climb his way all the way up yet. We've got Momo in 1st, Koga in 2nd, Salamchi in 3rd, Xerox in 4th, and then 5th Kaiser with Numpster 6th. But Momo still leading the way for Meltdown right now. But with 2nd and 3rd going to Gaîté, Lyrique, they could be a big change in points once again.
Actually, I just noticed here while Momo and Koga are driving under this jump here, another guy is jumping over it, and that's just
he must be quite far behind.
Yeah. But that could be Kaiser actually falling very far behind in this third map, and well, it is a completely different way of driving. Slipstreaming pretty much doesn't exist in dirt because you're simply not driving fast enough to slipstream. So you're going to have to overtake your opponent by doing better corners, by knocking him into the walls. It's a bit more of a derby, if you want.
Are you surprised by Kaiser's performance there, Chris?
He performs on the dirt a lot worse than on tarmac. Yeah, you can't deny that. It's, every aspect of the game, you need specialists in every crew. An ideal crew has a good dirt driver, good tarmac driver, and maybe one who can squeeze through small alleys and stuff like that. So you can complement each other.
And actually, that's a very good point, because Kaiser might not have been the front rider on dirt right here, but Momo actually did very well and
he
secured
really
the first place,
yeah.
and he was dueling all across the way, all along the way, and managed to get on with the first place anyway.
And if you think about that as well, Momo's actually the person who's usually been in 2nd at the moment.
Yeah.
Fighting off at the back. So maybe this suited him to just be aggressive and fight with all of the dirt riders there.
He is a bit more of a fighter than a sprinter.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to like the aggressive action.
Yeah, and like we on DS Rag, we have a sprinter and like a interceptor, if you will, just a guy, a buffer guy, and then we have our brawler who really just tries to knock everybody way off the road. And we can see the different strategies coming into play here as well. Like they have a brawler and he's good on dirt, and that's fine.
What do you think of sweeping? What do you think of it?
I'm not a fan. I enjoy clean driving and just
Me too, yes.
doing your best to show this. Oh, Airbase Assault, this
yes.
next map coming up actually.
Airbase Assault has the Tree of Pool that we spoke about last time in
Yeah.
the local finals. Red Eye, who was commentating with me last time. Fergus, who's one of the creators of the game, he was talking to us, and basically Paul hit this every single time on this map, and it actually got named the Tree of Pool. So let's see if any of the other races are going to hit any of that now. This is the last race that we're going to see, and we'll hopefully get an update on the scoreboards as well, because it's going to be very close and it's going to really matter. But Kaiser, I can see this suiting him straight away, and oh, what? Oh, that didn't work out. I don't think that was a scoreboard, because we'd seen higher scores than that already.
This map definitely one of my favorites, if not the favorite. Oh, Kaiser actually missing the first checkpoint here.
No.
And that's just what I was about to say in this map. It is really, really checkpoint to checkpoint.
Yeah.
Everybody's missed a couple of shortcuts already. Like you can skip into so many little crooks and crannies to make your speed better across the map.
And Gaîté, Lyrique, Koga there was just getting taken out by two of his teammates there. They gave him a little nudge in different directions.
Yeah.
That was clearly
Koga
how it's not done. Taking each other out, that's not the way to do it.
Koga managing a really good shortcut here, where he drove through the trees right after a tight corner, and those trees they go really far. And if you just follow the road, you end up taking a hard 90 degrees turn, and then another hard 90 degrees after. Instead, he drove through the bush in between the trees.
And that's what I'm loving right now from these
up
guys. I'm loving the fact that we've only had the game for about a month or so now, and they're finding all these little shortcuts out. This just shows how good it's going to be when we watch some real PvP races once the games come out, and see how fantastic these players can look through different maps, work out the little shortcuts, and play this how it's supposed to be from them in a competitive sense right now. And we had the scoreboards. Meltdown are still leading, but currently, let's have a quick look at the scoreboard now. Kaiser is in 5th. He's all the way down there. It's Gaîté Lyrique have got the top 3, and then the final 4th, 5th, and 6th for Meltdown Paris. So Gaîté Lyrique, this could be the change around for them, but I don't know if it's going to be enough points to win it.
They really, really need 12 points more, and 12 points more, that is more or less first, second, and third.
And we're just getting notified on screen. It's going to be Mechanics Minutes next. I know everyone was seeing it before that we were talking about Mr. Mario, and he is wearing Mario colours, but he's our on-site mechanic and one of Chris's favourite parts of our show.
Absolutely. Let L come. L comes to the rescue.
So Gaîté Lyrique actually in the 3 pole positions right now, and
leading comfortably.
Very much so. And they don't want to fight each other. I keep saying this, but every time I see them bump into each other, I'm like, you're on the same team.
So
stop it.
This map is not only known for its shortcuts, but also for its very, very tight corners. And there's only a few places where you can actually duel each other, and you end up dueling your team whether you like it or not.
So it's more of a forced reason than a choice.
So you don't even need you need to be incredibly patient, because you need to let others just stay on the accelerator, and you need to be braking just to make room for everybody, and that's really hard in a high pressure situation where you have enemies riding right behind you. Just press the brake when you really don't need to.
And look at that. Meltdown hugely behind there. They took the 4th, 5th and 6th places, while Gaîté Lyrique take 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Very impressive performance from them. Koga comes up 1st, Salamchi 2nd, Numster 3rd, Xerox for Meltdown 4th, Kaiser 5th and Momo 6th. Completely flipped around.
I'm so interested in seeing.
I want to see this scoreboard big time, because I can't work out in my head.
This has to be so close.
This is going to be the closest one we've seen.
So actually, a really good performance from Gaîté Lyrique. Kaiser here on another street map didn't really show the same amount of control that he showed in previous maps. That being said, if he didn't miss the first checkpoint, I think he could have seen a completely different race there, because obviously he is the front runner on maps like this. But he just took that corner way too wide and slid straight past that checkpoint. Yeah, so once you enter the grass, you're pretty much done. The grass is so slippery compared to the road, and if you can't control it, you really don't want to venture there.
Chris, how hard is it to control on the grass?
In a street spec like they did, it's crazy. You need to be so subtle with the throttle. You can do it, but you have to be really. I can do it with the wheel. I can't do it with the controller.
And we can see most of the guys here have opted for the controller rather than the wheels. I'm a controller player myself. What about you guys? I know, Chris, you love the wheels. What about you, Nicholas?
Well, I love playing with the wheel. It's a bunch of fun. I feel like for a professional match, I would always go controller, just because I have a better reaction time on a controller. I can go from left to completely on the right.
Wow, wait, I've just heard the scores in my ear. It was 72. They were both exactly a draw. That's the closest score
we
we've
have
seen.
a match. That's good.
I'm unsure exactly what's going to happen, but maybe they'll have to play one more map. So, yes, we're going to go into another map here, and this is all or nothing, 100%.
And it's air-based assault again, so Kaiser really needs to pull
He needs to hit that checkpoint.
Yeah.
This is going to get ridiculously close.
Oh my God!
But it also shows that
so close.
Teamwork is just as important as single performance.
Never drive alone is the key words of this game, and it's what has to be remembered by everyone. So we're going to be getting right into the game very shortly, guys. But 72-72, I couldn't believe that.
You can't have it better than that.
That's crazy, guys. That's our first draw that we've seen at all here.
And actually, it was so close. Koga and Salameki
on the same points,
pulling a lot of points home for Gaîté Lyrique in just the final race, getting first and second. They were so far behind in the start, and now they managed to get back.
And that's the beauty of these kind of games. When you're having 4 PvP races like this, anything can happen, and you've got to literally be prepared for all the different maps that could be thrown at you.
Yeah. So right now it looks like the map hasn't really been decided yet.
Yeah, so they're going to be going through that now.
Today. But until then,
if it was air-based assault again, Kaiser would be thinking, "Oh no!" Imagine the pressure that would be on him right now. He'd be sat there going, "Well, I really did bad that time. I need to up my game if we've got to play this map again." But that would play a factor into his game as well. This is going to become a proper mind game.
It starts really tearing at your head. Yeah. And like, okay, it didn't work when I was out in the front in start here. What can I do? And like, it's so easy to press me out into the grass where I can't control anything. So it's there's a lot of pressure on both teams right now.
Maybe he'll go through his tactic like we saw before with holding back and just cruising around, because especially as you said about the grass, that he's got to be so careful.
I missed the big air on the airstrip. There are 2 very nice jumps there, and they all avoided it. Is it slower then?
Yeah, it is definitely slower jumping, especially across the over those jets. Because if you made just a slight error and are coming in just a little bit too slow, you're gonna get really punished by landing on a jet.
But I like the jumps. I take them anyway.
Yeah.
You don't care about the speed so much, do you? Because you're like, I'm going to go for prettiness.
And then as soon as you land, your force feedback on the wheel just goes completely crazy.
I will make up for it.
See, look at that. He's confident in his hardcore racing skills there.
We really need a race off, Chris.
Yeah, I think we should do that at some point. We need to get everyone sat down, get them in. We've got a little racing chair to the left of me here. It's all set up. Maybe we should see what Chris's skills really are made of and compare it against Nicholas's. Sure. I'm not going to get involved in this because I don't play nowhere near as much hardcore as you two.
I'm game.
Alright, it's cool.
So we should be going live very soon with the final map here.
My drive will be more about the fun.
72-72 is ridiculously close score.
It's even. It's not close. It's even.
Okay, well I'm being told they're choosing the map still, so I think.
Airbase, come on, Airbase. I want to see.
Oh, it's my choice. There we go. So I'm being given. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't want to pick Airbase now. This could be horrible. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's not spill it all. That wouldn't help. Go on, Nick. Just put them back in there for me. Careful where you're touching. Oh God. I don't want to pick Airbase now. I feel really bad. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Who's it gonna be?
Come on, guys.
Oh. It's Windmill Rally. That's what we're going to see for the deciding map. I reckon that's going to be quite an interesting one, but
that's the third map.
Yeah,
that
how
Momo
do you reckon
did really
Kaiser?
well
Yeah,
on.
Momo did really well, but how did Kaiser do? He wasn't so good on it.
Not at all. He was way in the back.
It will get dirty.
Yeah, that's a fair prediction.
Chris is going to enjoy the dirt, but I'm going to enjoy to see how well are they going to be able to play on this. I think Gaîté coming back from that, having such a disadvantage as well, and coming back to do a draw, that would give them a momentum and confidence boost going into this this fifth and final map now.
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to talking to the guys after and hearing about the pressure of a last map like this.
And it's like right here in our studios.
Yeah, if you don't win this, you don't go on to the semis.
Yeah, and that'll be crushing, completely crushing.
It's like you go from having a chance to winning some prizes to not having any at all.
No, exactly. And that's a big difference right now.
Yeah,
you can see that at home, but the devs are literally standing almost 1 feet behind the drivers.
They want to know what's going on. They want to know who's going to be winning.
They're really pumped up about it too, because it's
like all the developers, all the mechanic, like the
mechanic sat there. He's like,
this is a dream scenario.
A little bit more.
Yeah,
that might give you a little bit of help.
Yeah, he's going like, oh, that rust. Oh, that's not going to work at all.
Oh, wow. I just didn't expect a draw after all that. I thought it was going to be like someone has a 1 point or 2 point win.
Yeah.
And it'd just be super close and we'd be like, fair play. But this, we didn't plan for this, but I am happy it came. I love stuff like this as well because it really brings that competitive feel to it. You feel that much more intense. And guess what? If Denmark managed to get through, I think you got some tough competition.
Yeah, we probably do. I mean, I know just the cars, they lack a little bit of upgrades. Like I can tell by now. I've played it enough, and I'm really confident, my guys. Like the airbase assault, I'm so confident. We have that on lockdown.
So Windmill Rally is on your screens now, guys. We're seeing this map once again. It is my fault. I picked this map out. It was done at random. It was raffled off. But last time we saw Lyrique kind of do a lot better on this, but Momo from Meltdown did take the win. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully Kaiser can really push hard on this and do a little bit better than what we saw, because he was such a front runner for Meltdown. And we're just exiting the spectators right now. We're straight on with Kaiser. And he is currently in first on this first turn. And he's got to be so careful because his team are pushing him around.
And
look at that. Lyrique are pushing forward. You've got Koga there in first place right now.
And
they've got second as well, and Kaiser's been pushed all the way to third. He really needs to fight back hard and make sure he can get himself a little bit further up the field.
Let's see if he can keep his composure. I think he needs to be cool, and then he can get back there.
Cool and collected, I think, is exactly what he needs to be.
That first turn we saw, everyone just came in
scrambled. Yeah, it was like, let's all line up and handbrake at the same time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so hard to get an edge on a dirt map, but just following your opponent and looking for a mistake is definitely the way to go. And actually here Momo overtaking Kaiser in the...
Momo is loving the dirt tracks, but Koga is quite far in front. We've got Kaiser in third right now, but Xerox is also in fourth. If it stays how it is now, Meltdown are in a very good position.
And you can see that Kaiser's ego is not too big to let his teammate pass, because he know that he's better. And
that's the team angle.
Exactly.
We needed to see that team angle because they have to focus on the points. Momo lets him go a little bit ahead, and Kaiser lets Momo go a little bit ahead, and that's a much better decision from the team right there.
Yeah, they need to catch Koga, and they're doing quite well at it actually. Momo almost up there.
And he's got to be careful on this turn there.
That big
Overshot it a little bit, and you hear him use the nitros. He's pushing super hard, and he's got to be very careful not to exhaust all that at the wrong times. He can't afford to be doing that. And we can see Momo still in second, but Koga, he's got away a little bit due to that error. And
we actually see everyone taking the turns on the grass, which is treacherous areas. They're trying to cut as much time off their lap time as they can.
And this is all or nothing for these guys.
Yeah, and doing it on the grass, it's a risky way to try and get ahead. But I mean, it is working for Koga. Momo trying his very, very best to catch him, and the rest of Lyrique actually in the way back.
They're not doing so well at all this time. Numster and Salamchi, they're 5th and 6th. So Meltdown Paris are looking very strong to take this. First may go to Koga, but we've got them in 2nd, 3rd and 4th for Meltdown afterwards. And Kaiser here is doing much better on the dirt side. I think he knew last time he just didn't hit it as he was supposed to. This time round, he's letting Momo, who's obviously a little bit more confident, take the lead over in front of him and kind of fight Koga. And you'll see Kaiser probably fighting back and just making sure no one's going to be able to sneak past him.
And actually Meltdown here just trading places. Kaiser just keeping that 3rd place warm for Zarex. and getting overtaken by his teammate. He really doesn't seem to mind being the last guy on his team.
But that's fine because they're not hitting each other out the way.
Yeah.
And this is what you want. Because imagine if they were really battling for it. Like Kaiser, you look at it just then. Kaiser slowed down purposely to make sure he didn't hit Xerox. If he hit Xerox there, that could have changed all around. They could have lost both of their positions.
Yeah, and just one position lost right now could technically change the overall score. It is very, very close. If Kaiser gets overtaken by someone, they are incredibly close.
And imagine if we managed to see somehow another draw as well.
Oh, that was...
Take it all the way to a 6th map. That'll be fine.
I'm not even sure it's possible just from like one match to be completely draw.
We'd have to work it out. We've got a calculator on our hands right now. But again, Koga's just got that massive lead right now. I really don't think Momo's going to be able to find him at all here. Current scores you can see on your boards, guys, is 72-72. This is the final map, and it looks like Meltdown Paris are in such a good position right now. We're coming to the finish line. Koga's gone over first. Momo in 2nd. Xerox looks like he's going to go take that 3rd.
And Kaiser.
Yes, he will. And Kaiser takes on to the 4th.
And that's Peter.
There we go.
That's going to be
Meltdown.
Meltdown.
Very close.
That's going to be Meltdown.
And there you go. It's clapping in the studio. Woo! Meltdown took it in the end after that fantastic show of skills and display.
Very beautiful victory. Like they took a lot of turns, very coordinated, and as a team instead of just knocking each other out of the way. And that was a very, very good performance by Meltdown.
It was a
They're
team
starting
victory.
to look more scary.